Candice from Totem Hair here, and today's episode is about cutting fringes. I personally think they are really fantastic because they are really face framing and they really finish a style off, and they can draw attention to eyes, cheekbones. There's a ton of different variations of them. You can get straight ones, rounded ones, asymmetric ones, soft ones, strong ones. So they're really fantastic. They also hide wrinkles as well and spots. And they can also make your face look a little bit wider if you have quite a narrow face or a high forehead, or if you have a wide forehead, it can actually make the face look a little bit thinner. So I'm just going to go into what to do if you are trimming your own fringe, and how to cut a fringe in if you haven't got one already. So the first thing we're going to talk about is what you need. You need a comb and some sectioning clips like these, and some scissors. I have recommended these scissors in the equipment section, but in any case they're going to be in the subtitles, and also a brush like this and a water spray as well. So if you get all of those things together, and you need fairly good lighting as well. So what you can do is, first of all, to find the fringe. If you're trimming your own fringe, then you need to find it. So that is the one mistake that a lot of people make when they do their own fringe, is they miss bits. So one little trick you can do is pull the hair up and shake it like this, and you can see that all the kind of short bits are falling out, and I've kind of just found my fringe. So now I can clip away the hair that is not going to be cut as part of the fringe. So that's that side, and this side I can lift that up again, shake it, some little bits drop forwards, and that is that done there. You can get these little bits out of the side as well. So we are ready to do the fringe trim. I'll clip that out of the way. So one thing I would recommend at this stage is to either dry your hair if it's damp, or to get your water spray and just spray it down so that you've got a little bit damp. And then what you can do is use your hairdryer to dry your fringe in using a wrap drying technique, which I'm going to show you now. This will get rid of any kind of like little kind of bits where the fringe is just sitting a little bit crookedly, or if you have quite a strong growth pattern, then this will help to get rid of that, so you get a more even result. Or if you're just being out during the day and being kind of blown around a bit, this is a really good way to get the fringe just sitting really perfectly and ready to be cut, instead of kind of sitting in it all over the place. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push the hair this way and follow it with the dryer, and then I'm going to just change directions and follow that way, and then I'm going to change directions again. So what that's going to do is it's going to dry the fringe with a slight bend in it because the head is round. Now, if you haven't had a fringe cut, I should point this out. If you haven't got a fringe, you can find out what hair to put in the fringe by kind of like putting in essentially a sort of triangle. So my fringe starts here, round about, a third of the way into the hair. So just starting here, and it's kind of a triangle to where the hair sort of starts to go down through here, and the same here, and then down to there. So that's what kind of size your fringe should be. So now that I've dried my fringe, I'm now going to section it off. It's all sitting nicely now, and I'm going to section it off so that I've got a nice straight section like so. And I'm just going to find that And then I'm going to clip this out of the way. So this is my first section. So now I have to decide on what kind of length I'm going to go to. I'm not actually going to cut my fringe today because it doesn't really need it, but I'm just doing this for demonstration purposes. So normally I would say eyebrow level and curving round is quite a classic length. Obviously, if you want to go shorter, you can go shorter, or asymmetric, you can come down, but you definitely want a kind of a nice straight section like so. What I would then recommend is that you let your face relax. If you're cutting your fringe like this, then when your eyebrows drop down, you kind of can end up with a very, very short fringe. So I've done that before, and yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. So make sure your face is relaxed. Then what I would recommend is dropping the hair into the comb and holding it like this before cutting it, because this way the hair can't escape. If I'm trying to cut the hair and it's not held into position, it can kind of run away from me. But in this way, I can actually have some control. Bear in mind that you might want to just let the hair in the corners go a little bit longer. So you might want to tilt and go down. And then you can kind of same through here, you can kind of tilt and go down. And do it little bit by little bit, and then have a look at the length and decide whether that's looking good to you or whether you want to take more off. So once you've done that section, you can move up the head like so. I'm going to do it in about 3 sections. Now the key thing is that whatever thickness you go for, remember that you're going to need to see your guideline for the second section. So if you can't see your guideline, you might need to go back and take a thinner section again. So lift the hair up, drop it in, bring it down, and then cut it to the desired length. And do the same on this side again, like that. And then last section, combing it down, letting it sit how it wants to, and then picking it up and trimming it through there. So if you do this way and you bring all the fringe down onto the same length and cut it, you're going to end up with a very, very heavy fringe. So that might be great if your hair's quite fine and you want a nice strong fringe, but you may need to layer the fringe. That makes it a little bit softer and makes it kind of a little bit more, and especially if you've got thick hair like me, you might need to kind of get it to not be so heavy. So the way I layer my fringe is I start it in the middle and I take a vertical piece of hair like this. So I pull it straight out and I cut straight out at a 90-degree angle there. So I take this corner off here. Then what I do is I just follow that through. So this piece of hair here gets taken to the middle, and then I take off this corner through here again. Then this section of hair comes also through to the middle, the first section, and then I might want to take off some hair here. So when the hair comes back down, instead of it all being very, very heavy, it has a kind of slightly lighter top area, which gives it a sort of more softer feeling. And I do that through this section as well. So like that, taking that section out there. So once you finish that, the other thing you can also do is point cut into the fringe. So this is where you lift the hair up and you cut in. So instead of cutting up, you cut into the hair like this. This is called point cutting. And what you do is just loosen up the density of the hair by doing that. So when the hair falls back down, it's a lot softer. So you can see that that's quite dense in that area. So I can just point cut into that area and make that a little bit more shattered through. So that's the end of the fringe tutorial. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, please like it, please share it, please leave me a comment, any questions. I'm happy to answer them.